welcome back to Rob's Fix-It Shop. We're still working on this Bobcat engine, and we had a bad piston. We found that last time, and then we found that the rings were broken on another piston. So voila, I've got a new piston. I'll talk about that in a minute, just about how we found that. But yeah, so we're ready to get this thing assembled. My dad in his free time put the water pump on, put a front seal in, and we pulled one of the plugs out of the side, kind of got the water jacket as clean as we could. And so yeah, so now we're ready to hopefully get it much more assembled today. So if you're interested, just hang on, it should be an interesting video. So here's our new water pump. Where'd you get that?
I got it at some farm store in California, but then they sent it from Iowa.
And you got the water pump based on the engine number.
Yeah, it was for that. Yeah, in hindsight, it was cheaper if you'd have just ordered it where you got the piston.
Yeah.
The gaskets too, but.
Yeah, and I got the piston from England because this engine was built in England and it's used in a lot of cars there.
It's a Kent engine.
Yeah, Kent engine. And we did pull off the cap here over the timing chain. That all looked good. We put it back. Yep, and here's a good look at it. And here's the drain plug we pulled. We got that back in. So what's next?
Well, we can put the pistons in. I pulled the sensor out of here so you can see what, just clean it up.
Yeah.
But being we got to roll the engine over, maybe we'll just leave it out for now.
Okay.
I put a new salt plug in there.
Great. Okay, well let's go.
Usually you always got to get the carbon out of there.
Out of where? Oh, off the top of the piston?
Yeah, these rings are, I can't even get a tool in there. But look at, more trouble here. Let me get a pliers.
I can go.
They're a little tough.
There we go.
Now this is now here's the bottom rings. They're a little different than that when you got that new piston. But, Jesus.
Oh, I see. So you just tear it out?
Well, yeah, whatever way you can do it. See, this is the way most rings are nowadays. Now the thing is, this thing, you always have to clean this out, but these are so clean.
Yeah.
There's no carbon in there.
Yeah.
It's, there's no chunks at all.
Oh, in the ring.
In the ring grooves, yeah. See, usually there's a special tool you go in there. There don't seem to be any.
And what's the gap supposed to be?
Oh, about 3,000, and that looks good. See, if you're off, you'd be way off.
Yeah, those look good.
Okay, now these pistons, rings. They are always instructions on them. These don't have any.
Yeah.
And I don't see any marks on them at all. So that means they'd go any way.
Okay.
I don't see any top marks, anything like that. If there's a mark on the top, a dot,
Yeah.
that means up.
Oh, okay.
Or if there's a groove in here, that means up. If the groove's on the bottom, it means it goes down.
Okay.
Yeah. So I looked real good, and I didn't. Here, when you put these on, you gotta. Sometimes they're a little bit different design, but see, they can't be overrode.
Oh yeah.
So what I do is I put them on like this. You gotta first put that on.
Right.
And in there. Now that is not overrode there. See.
Oh yeah.
Then Actually, the way you do this is you put the top one on first. You gotta kind of spiral it on. You spiral this on. Ah.
Tell me to hold that.
See, I'm so old and clumsy now, I can't.
Okay.
See, now that's good. If that was over road, you wouldn't be able to move that.
Okay.
Now this one will go from this one, so we have the gaps in a different place. Now we'll put the bottom one on. Now see?
Oh, yeah.
Now this is fine. If it's jammed up and you can't move it, then you gotta do
That's
something
bad.
else.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we put the second one on. And be double sure there's no marks on it. See? No marks on the top or the bottom.
Okay.
And you don't have any grooves here or there. So, we'll put this on. And you also want to check so the piston groove is right.
Yeah.
So you're not putting a ring in that don't fit. That used to happen to a lot of Ford engines. People would, they changed their 390s. I can't see very good.
Oh, they changed the 397 to different
Yeah,
pistons.
they had a different groove in the in 1 year, and the pistons were interchangeable.
Oh,
So people would put, in them days, you know, you took a lot of them apart and stuff. Okay, now this one is the top one of that. You gotta make sure too that it isn't got any. These are a little harder to put on because of the way the piston's designed.
what do you mean?
Well, the way the piston's designed, you got a long,
Yeah.
uh,
The top part is longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the combustion chamber is actually in the piston.
yep. So now we got the rings on that piston. Now we want to make sure. Oh, you put it like, so they're not all the same there. That one, oops, that one's there. So we'll put this one over here.
Okay.
Put this one, everything looks good there. It's gonna take a little practice to do them bottom ones.
Yep. So we got the top.
Yeah, put the expander in first. Now try the top one first. And just kind of spiral it on if you can. And now the bottom one, here, I got the bottom one. I'm glad you found that. No, that one, see it?
Oh, that one we want to start somewhere else.
If you can, I mean,
Well, let me just turn this.
ooh, okay, whatever. You just start it up here, so when you get to the groove, you're not, whatever works. If you did it all the time, you'd be fast at it, like I was one time, 40 years ago.
Right.
Now, that center one's the easiest one to break. The trouble is you get it in the first one.
Okay.
Oh, you get it in there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're better than I am then.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you inspect that?
Right. Okay, let's put these in now. Now where's the,
Let me get the,
oh, here's the thing there. Yeah, get that. Here, I can just push this in a little bit there.
okay, so I'm gonna put my finger over it so if it flies out. Okay.
That's in good, huh?
Yep.
Because you see, if they come out,
Yeah.
now let's go to the other side.
Yep, looks good.
If they come out, it can wreck the cylinder. It would.
Yeah. Let me just inspect it. Yep, that looks in. And that looks in. Okay.
Okay, now these are just a little bit different rings, kind of.
Yeah.
See? Okay, there you go. You got the rings on.
Okay, so our number of our piston is on the connecting rod right here. I mean, obviously you want to keep them in order.
1, 2, 3, 4. Where did I put my damn oil can?
I don't know.
Well, what the hell? Well, what do we want?
All right, here's our engine specs, and our connecting rod bolts are 30 to 35 foot-pounds in torque. Good information.
We gotta, that is where it's important to have a lot of oil on. And,
On here,
yeah,
on the piston.
yeah, here, let's,
And where's our compressor?
I got it over, but we'll have to put it in the vise for
So
that.
we're putting the piston in the vise, or you're oiling it
When
first?
I'm oiling- this is important to oil this good.
Yeah, just throughout the rings and
Some
stuff.
people even dip it in a can of oil. When you put this on, it's best to have this bottom one
Uh-huh.
right about where the bottom piston is. Right
Oh, the
about
bottom
like-
band.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it ain't not too tight,
Right.
but just snug. Now, when you put it in there, you want to make sure you tap that so it's completely tapped in there. Now, let's take
What is that? What do you mean?
when you stick it in, you sometimes these are a little off. See?
Oh, I see what you're saying. You want the bands kind of lined up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already put heavy oil down there on the crank.
Yep.
Kind of really got it around the cylinder walls. And now we're ready to put it in.
Yep. This shows front.
So that's front, and it's number 4.
Yep. So we put it like this.
Nice.
And now it should hit the. We can put one in now before we.
Okay, so we put the cap on now? Or
We
not?
can wait till we get one. This is 4 now. We can't get caps mixed up.
Yeah. No, they're all together. So we've kind of kept them attached the whole time. Okay, so we oil up the bearing, and then we got our crank in the right place, right?
Yep. There we.
Okay. We just hold that. Okay, go ahead.
Whoops, what's wrong?
I think it's fine. It's going. I think the rings are catching on his little lip.
No, it shouldn't. You don't want them rings to catch there.
Should I tighten it?
Wait, let's look. No, it ain't that. I think it's touching the bottom. Can you see it or?
Well, here, let me.
Okay, let me just. Something's wrong. It should slide right in there. Let me just turn it a little here. Let's take a look. That's in the,
I mean, it feels loose there.
that's loose, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I think we could tighten this up a little.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
let me go.
Okay. So the important lesson for me is if it doesn't go in, don't force it.
Oh, no, you don't want to
Bust the
catch
ring.
them, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There. Well, I guess we can,
Hold on, let me. Yeah, you can rotate it now.
yeah. We can rotate it all. Now you can torque them down.
Well, it says 30 to 35. Oh, that's what I'll do.
35 and make sure your torque wrench is right.
Yeah, I've got a nice. I'll just snug them up.
You know what I like to do is count them.
Yeah.
So you don't miss any, especially on head bolts, but here you just count to 8, you know, and you,
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6.
or you might want to turn the engine and just do
7.
the ones that are down and then turn it half a turn and,
Yeah, I'm just getting them all kind of tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
wonderful, now let's see if it turns over.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah? Yep.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Well, Rob,
Okay, so we're gonna replace the rear seal. Dad already did the front. So I think we gotta pull these 3 bolts right here and remove this plate. So, I guess there's 4 bolts. Alright, set those there because those we'll put in right away. Alright, that comes off. I think that's our seal there.
bring it over here and I'll wash it.
Alright, well we've got the seal we have to get in. I have this can of Qualco muffler weld repair and sealer that I think is going to work pretty good to get that in there. Let's see. Come on. And yes, this is not my first attempt. We tried some other stuff. All right, so we got our seal in. We got our bolts in here. And so now we want to put our pan on. All right, so put these on first.
Yeah.
And then,
Put them in, and then you could put a little dollop in this end. Everything going okay?
yep.
Well, you couldn't ask for better temperature to work in.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, we got the engine back on the mount. I got it all cleaned up. That took forever. And now I'm putting in the flywheel. And these flywheel nuts are going to be torqued to 55 pounds. And let's do that. Oh, okay. Oh, I see, I see.
If you can find a damn.
Yeah, with the breaker bar. All right.
I think I can hold it. I mean, I don't think it'll loosen them up. Just count them as you go.
2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's in.
Now, I think you got that fan to put on.
Yeah.
You know, if you did that every day, that wouldn't take you long, but when everything's, well, me to hold it, I will, I think I have to.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Got her?
Yep.
Okay. Now, see, is everything all tight?
Yep.
We're supposed to put the starter on?
No, not yet. Now we got to.
Oh, that's right, that thing.
All right, so we turn the engine around. I got all this hooked up, got the fan on, and now we're gonna put the head gasket on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of an interesting head gasket. Huh.
Don't say this side up anywhere.
I don't see that.
It should, but of course you gotta look at it and you gotta have them back things in place.
Well, yeah, it's a.
Well, the only one you could get. They were all on,
Well, they're half the price in England too.
yeah.
It's
And
Here,
then
here everybody, they order them from England, then they triple the price.
This,
Yeah.
I seen somebody,
Oh, I see your
that's gonna be on his
I
statement,
seen,
huh?
YouTube. And maybe you should put a clean shirt on, Rob, so you look good.
Yeah.
There's the farm hall, the F-20 sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Did I ever tell you that one time Eileen told Ray that she asked him if he still had the tractor, and he said, yeah. She said, well, that should be worth at least 50,000 now.
Oh, yeah. You know, I went to Rollog
Oh, you did?
over Labor Day. You'd think you were 86.
yeah, no,
All right, so-
106.
86 and then.
So now we're putting the rocker arm back on.
Robin was here because there's so much.
Well, you had a full day, Ray. You've been out here for many hours.
I did about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She said that, that came in the front door and then she wanted to know if we could get a screen door. If we could get any more of that. But I just said,
I'm gonna walk away with it. We'll get that.
and then, and then they gotta have.
There's somebody else does it, I don't mind.
Yeah. It's kind of on the bottom of the door, so it's tighter. Yeah.
Kind of has a fall feel out here, right?
Yeah. That's my grave on. Hopefully the fire one. And sometimes there's a bunch of nails.
Oh, I get my big bag.
They only-
Okay, so the exhausts are 16 and intake.
They're still in Colorado with their daughter or son.
Okay, well, they asked if they framed me or something.
Holy balls!
Anyway, what's going on?
Wait a minute, is there some kind of a hold on it or?
No. Up. I gotta
Don't
get a
break
bigger
it.
wrench. I just have a little hold on it there. Nah.
I mean, there's nothing, what holds it tight?
Your name on the list.
Oh, you need clearance here.
No, what holds this from moving one way or other? Just the,
It's a self-locking nut.
oh,
PCH.
Okay, tighten them up a little bit.
tighten?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I
What
said,
the hell?
PCH question mark?
It moved a little.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to move it more.
Here's the contact number. So I clicked on that. And I
More
got
yet.
it.
Oh, more yet.
It just feels like it's gonna break.
Oh,
Or something. I showed his picture, and he said, "Yeah, let me check."
quite a bit more.
Checked, and he said, "Yes, you've won $300,000." And
Yeah, you haven't moved it much. You did a little bit. You moved it some.
Set up this thing with FedEx to deliver it. And
A little
so
more.
then I thought, I'll
See it?
contact Melly.
Whoop, a little bit more. I feel
Supposedly coming from Melly. see.
Oh, okay.
And
Hold
so
it.
I contacted this
Just
one.
a little more.
Oh, yeah, it's legit.
See, I gotta tighten it first.
No,
You know, that's not her language.
More yet.
So I
Wow.
said to the guy,
You ain't
"Well,
doing it
send
much."
the money. He said, "Well, here's where, you know,
More.
are you still at," when they ask me to answer these questions, I get name, address.
Up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then he showed a picture of my house, you know, from
That's it.
Google Earth.
yeah.
And it was an
Just a
old
little
one.
drag. Okay, now
Okay.
this one we want.
So anyway.
That just seems weird that it's so tight.
Oh, no, well, you put different,
Scam, and I'm not interested.
Okay,
now
that's
tighten that a little
The
bit.
guy, he actually contacted me a couple times since then.
More,
With a message, you know, how are you doing, or something.
more yet,
They do that where they really do the deal on that.
more yet.
Oh, yeah.
I have Greg and Bonnie Carroll, they got.
More yet.
their grandson.
Oh, yeah.
More yet.
And then, my uncle.
See, you're not really, you didn't really move it much.
Oh, we had to go, they wanted, this is back older.
A little more.
Wanted a way to send the money to Western Union, but they had to go from Oak to.
More yet.
So they drew the money out from Oak at the bank.
More yet.
And the lady at the bank said, I sure this is, your.
A little more, I feel. A
Well, he called and said he did.
little more,
And then, so they went to Valley City.
a little more,
And
just to
the lady at Western Union.
pause it. Okay, now loosen her a little.
Okay, so we got all the valves adjusted. These two are the intakes here, and these two are the intakes. The firing orders 1, 2, 4, 3, and so we just made a mark on the crank. So this was cylinder 1, 2, 4, and then 3. And yeah, it looks pretty good. The intakes are 0.08 and the exhaust 008 and the exhausts are 0.016. So yeah, we had to adjust them quite a bit, and you have to crank on these things. They self tighten, I guess. I've never seen anything like that, but yeah, it looks pretty good. So I think we're gonna call it quits for now. This took a lot longer than I thought, just a lot of cleaning and stuff like that. And so we'll finish it up another day. Well, we're back. I painted the engine, which I thought turned out pretty sweet. I just used a spray can for that. And we did paint this back here. And then Dad's here just sweeping up the detritus from cleaning out the engine compartment here and kind of getting back there I don't know why, I just had a bunch of leaves back there and junk. But it's looking pretty nice now, so I think now we're gonna put the intake manifold on and then try to get the engine to a place where we can get it back in. And hopefully today we can even get it started, but we'll see about that. I work about half as fast as I'd like. Anyway, that's next. So there we have we're going to put the knuckle on first, or the universal joint first, and before we slide the motor on. And then one thing, I don't know if you can see up here, the radiator is full of stuff. So I'm going to have to pull this off because I want to clean that, because I'll never be able to get in there very well otherwise. So I'll just pull that top off and I'll blow some air through it and clean it out.
Oh, I should have looked at this governor. Sometimes them things have a separate oiling hole in them. Yeah, you ask yourself, how does it get lubrication?
Yeah. All right, so these bolts are 15 to 18 pounds. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten that bottom. That bottom one is a nut. I can't get to it with the torque wrench, I don't think, no. So we'll just have to play that one by feel. All right, that looks perfect, all right? Now we gotta get the, next, starter. All right, here's our starter. I got it up on the chain when I painted it. It's a Bosch starter, it's not the original, but it's much better than the original was. But yeah, so we'll get that on next. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, it's interesting because all the wiring is distributed throughout, off the engine and to the front, and through here, through the starter. And that's why, you've got all the labels are wires are.
All three of these are,
Oh yeah,
they're hot.
all of them are hot, and they all come through here. That's why I'm hesitant to take it off. I have them all labeled or whatever, but if I don't have to, I don't want to, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get this. Oh, let's oil the governor.
Now, exact length.
Oh, that's the oil fill tube?
Yeah.
I think your razor blade's here.
Okay.
Guess it's not.
Oh, here it is.
Oh yeah. I've been trying to take all the tools and put them on here. To get the oil dipstick on there, goes from here, but then kind of comes up around here. But the hose we used to have was no good anymore, so
Yeah.
we're cutting a new hose for it, and we'll install that. Okay, so here's our original hose. It's no good, right? So we just got some 3/8 inch line here, and there's a sleeve in here. We're gonna put the sleeve in there, put this on, and then that goes on to this sleeve down here. Like that, and somewhere up here, I don't know where, I'll have to look at that. I think it just kind of goes like that, I don't know, something like that. So we'll get this all apart and we'll get that new one on. Alright, so this is stuff that makes this stuff take forever, but we had a hard time getting this little grommet on the 3/8 line. So we got it in as far as we could, which is about a 1/2 inch, and then we just left it. It's not going to go anywhere. I guess it was more like 5/8, but it's not going to go anywhere. So we just kind of left it be and then put a little piece of hose, slid it, and put it right here. And I think that's good. We kept the length the same length and trimmed it down here. And then that works. So we're just going to leave it at that. And it's a little bit of a hack job, but I think it's going to work pretty well. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the governor oil. And what do we do? We just take this out and see
Yeah.
and if oil comes out, then there's enough.
Yep.
And oil is what, 1040?
Well,
1030
yeah.
or 1040.
Is oil coming out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd leave it then.
Looks like there's a little gasket there.
Oh. Oh, you better don't let any more out than you have to.
I'm working on it. All right, so we got our valve cover on. It's got weird cork. We decided not to put the spark plugs in just because we're going to need them out to kind of turn it over. All right, so our motor mounts are a mess, right? Those are our motor mounts, and so I went to the Bobcat service manual and got a number for them, but they're a little weird, the ones we got. These look, I think, are just so deformed, and they're gummy too, right? They're no good. So let me show you the ones we got. I looked it up at the Bobcat site and by the number that's in the service manual, and they had ones that looked like this. They were about 25 bucks a piece, but I got these off eBay for 15. But they looked exactly like the ones on the Bobcat site. So okay, so we're gonna lift this up and try to get this out and see what it takes to get these in. I think they must just press in. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we did a dry run on the one, and we've got the engine kind of up a little bit, and then I take the air hammer. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. Yeah, this rubber is just gummy and terrible. So these seem a little bit smaller. They're not quite the same. They're about right. Yeah, see, they're about the same size. But this one's just gotten so gummy and messed up. We'll put that like that. Let's see. We'll take this out. Line that up. And just set it down on there, and I think it'll work its way down as we mess with it. All right.
I'll try going up a little, see what happens. It didn't look too good last time, but you stand under where you hit your toe or something. Okay,
All right, so we're up.
I put it up and then I let it down right away.
Okay, so we're ready for that?
Yep.
Get out there.
A little bit more maybe. Okay, that should do her. Now let me get this out of the way.
Okay, I think we're looking good.
Oh, you want me to go in just like that?
Okay, now we have to let it down a little bit.
Now, do we want to go in a little further?
Yep. Okay, now you gotta let it down. You're good. Okay, a little more. Okay, stop. Okay, now let's pull this chain off.
Want to watch the hydraulic lines on this side so we don't hit them too hard.
Okay, can we go in a little bit or not?
Yeah.
Nope, nope, nope.
Oh, there you go. Now,
Okay,
we'll have to push it. Are we past it? I think we are.
not yet.
We are?
Nope, nope. A little more. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have to push the, I'll push while you push the,
Oh,
we don't want to come off the jack.
okay.
Okay, so now I got a light, so now
Now then,
we have to
4
hook
bolts.
that
You're gonna
U-joint.
have to have an element that size. Try not to pull them joints apart.
Oh, interesting. So, yeah.
Can you make out anything?
Huh.
So here we got 4 bolts.
So there's our U-joint there, and there's our bolts for them.
I tried to turn it
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Let me.
All right, well, it's, everything's screwed up. So, when my dad originally took this engine out and put it back in, he found that it was really hard to just attach the universal joint first. So what they did is they attached a universal joint. They put the universal joint on the spline and they moved the engine back. So that's what we tried to do. But then, like an idiot, I dropped the Allen wrench into the fan or the blower. And so I'm going to try to get that out. If I can't get that out, then we're going to have to pull that engine out, and I'm going to have my brother come over and see if we can get that onto the spline. But I'll try to get the Allen wrench out first, and if we can, then we're good. Okay, so it turned out the Allen wrench had not fallen in. It had actually fallen down here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these other bolts on. See, we were trying to attach these bolts while it was in there, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it in here, and then I'm going to have my brother get in there, and we'll grease this up, and we'll get that thing in. I think that's the way it's supposed to be done. All right, so we've got the U-joint all installed there on the shaft, and there's our engine. And so what I did is I greased up, and I'm hoping the motor mounts kind of slide along here. There's the spline back there, and I'm going to get in, and I'm going to see if I can get my hand in there and guide that spline in. And my brother John's here. He's going to be helping with the engine pushing. My 86-year-old dad seems to be sloughing on us, so I think we'll get going. It goes about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
And I
suppose we'll hit it, right?
Yeah. So I think I got to get in there. Yeah, so it's not too bad to move, right?
Yeah, it doesn't want to move forward.
Okay, so let me get in there and see where that thing is lining up. Oh, the other thing, do you have the wrench on the end? So
I got it in my pocket here.
Yeah, so I'll have you turn this and move it back and forth.
Yeah,
and we'll try to get that
I'm gonna
thing.
pivot out this far bracket.
Okay, so I don't know. You can see me here.
Yep.
Okay, so you got to go back a little bit.
Oh, I do.
You can push. You just make sure it stays on the jack.
Okay. Yep.
I think we're close. Well, we got it in, and wasn't easy. We had to put the
I'm gonna go, you guys. I'll see you later.
All right, see you, John. Thanks. I had to use an Allen wrench. That was the only way to do it. I got the, so we put the universal joint on first. Then I had to lay down there, get it in. It was a pain in the ass. I tried doing it the other way, just sliding in, and we could not get it. And so now it's just a matter of reassembling everything. All right, so we got our motor mounts. We'll get those in. Just a word to the wise here. You see the choke actuator. That has to go in before the motor goes in all the way. And so I had to pull all the motor mounts out and redo that. So, all right, so we got it all back together and got the wiring all done. I don't know. It'll be a miracle if it starts, but I don't know. Everything looks good. So let's see.
You just run it for a few,
Yeah.
be
We
it
didn't put any water in it yet, so I'm not going to run it very. That sounds like timing. Well, we're back in the shop, and last time we got it all assembled, we got it all in, got the wiring all hooked up, and we tried to start it, wouldn't start. Seemed like a timing problem from the way it sounded, and it was. The distributor cap was 180 degrees off. But the other thing we had is that the fuel pump like I've got electric fuel pump in here, and you know, I tried to buy a quality one, but it seems like you can't do it, right? And so the fuel pump was dumping out fuel out of where the wires go in, which is, it's dangerous, right? I mean, I can't believe you can't get a decent fuel pump and that won't start your Bobcat on fire. So, I don't know, so I got another one. I got, you know, a $10 one because it looks exactly like the $20 one I had. But I'm gonna start searching around and see if I can find a better one. But today I just want to get it up and running, and we can do that work later. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put that fuel pump on, and then we're going to try to give it another start. All right, so here's the new fuel system. I've got the fuel pump down here, the turn on right there, and then I just ran hose all the way up there. And then if you kind of comes underneath, and then I don't know if you can see the fuel pump there. There's the fuel filter right before the carburetor. So that's all different. It used to come in back there and then go to a manual fuel pump. But like I say, that fuel pump we had on here started spewing gas all over. And it's right next to this guy here, which is where all the positive connections come in, which gets hot when you start it. And it just seemed kind of dangerous, so we moved the whole deal over here, and I think this is going to work pretty good. So that took about 10 million times longer than I wanted it to, but I think we're ready to give it a start now, and we'll see if it starts.
Turn the switch on to make sure that the oil gauge is on.
Okay.
Oil light.
You got to remember too, we don't have any water in it.
Oh no, we just started up, get oil pressure and shut it off. Oil gauge on?
Oil gauge is on.
Okay, I see the fuel pump's working.
Yeah.
I put quite a bit of oil on it. It sounds like the timing is slower. See, when we changed that, it sounds like there's some kind of a leak or something.
What do you mean?
Isn't there?
Some kind of a leak of what?
I don't know.
All right, so we added water. We're going to need this in there. Let's try to start it again. Okay, ready? Okay, so we've kind of looked around the engine a little bit. It just seemed to be making a weird noise, right? Or not sounding right. And so we checked the valve lash again. And I think what the problem is that if you look at, let's see, if you look right down there at the exhaust manifold / muffler, that center connector is wide open. So I think it's just kind of leaking through the gasket that was making that noise. So I'm going to have to take this guy off, and we'll figure out what to do from there. All right, so here's what we got going on this exhaust manifold / muffler is that Okay, and don't laugh at my straight edge, but it's quite a bit up right here. So this is down, I bet, quite a bit, and it's leaking right in here. And so, I don't know, I'm going to try to figure something out. I think what I might do, this is right, but then it slopes down all across here. So I'm going to try to build it up. I don't have my welder here, but I'm going to get my welder and I'm going to try building this up and then grinding it down and see if I can make these three flanges parallel to each other. So I don't know. So I didn't get it up and running today, but I think we're done for today. Okay, we're back after finding that the exhaust manifold was making all that noise. And so what I did is I took the welder and so this side was really far down here. And so I took the welder, MIG welder, and filled this all in, ground it down, and then took, my disc grinder, brought it down, and then my body sander, and then, everything I could to get this down. It still took about 3-4 hours to get it all right, but now it looks really, nice, right? And, these outside ones were off a little bit too, but then now they're not in a nice plane, and I think that's really going to do the trick. And, Bobcat wants you to replace this with a manifold, then a muffler, and the manifold's, $500. It's worth fixing these things and getting them right. And so now I think we're looking really good on these. I hate an exhaust leak. And so I took the time to get it right. And I might make a video out of it, I don't know. It's really just a lot of welding, grinding, sanding, making sure you don't do too much. And then when you do too much, welding some more. So, yeah. Oh, and then I use a plate of glass with sandpaper on it to kind of level it, right? Because you need everything in the same plane, and a piece of 1/2-inch glass kind of works like that. So, and that allowed me to kind of figure out my high and low spots by putting sandpaper down on that and using a marker. So we're going to get this baby on there, and I'm hoping for the best. All right. All right, so I got it all back together. I got the valve cover back on. I got the exhaust on. This time it shouldn't be leaking. And got the spark plugs back in. And so let's give her a try. Well, that's it for Rob's Fix-It Shop, skid steer loader edition. I'm just thrilled to get this guy back on the road and running again. When I started these videos, it was like 85 degrees. Now it's 40, it's Minnesota, so we've got a month and a half before we start getting snow, and this guy's gonna be needed. So thanks for coming along for the ride, and if you liked it, hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.